Today we are going to look into Matplotlib, a powerful Python library for data visualization to create graphs, pie charts, and many more things. So today we are just going to look into the basics of Matplotlib. So first we have to import this library. To import this, we will be using import Matplotlib. So I'm using a Google Collaborative, which is an AI-powered Python environment. So it might giving me some recommendations. Okay, you just ignore those. So, the next thing is, after importing this library part, that Matplotlib, we have to create a. We'll just create a simple line plot. Okay, so I just create two lists. Okay, here I will just create X. S3 is also giving me some recommendations. Okay, I'm not going to directly plot this. I'm going to use some other things. So we have some functions here. So we can create a plot directly without any metadata. But here we want to uh, give some purpose, give some titles to our plot. So what I'm going to use is this plt.title function. This plt.title function, right? So this function helps us to provide a title for our graph, and same wise this x label and y label to give naming for our x-axis and y-axis. Okay, then shall we plot it? No, I want some more things. For example, we can also put a grid in our plot, so we can identify the pattern, identify the graphs more clearly with more accuracy. So plt dot grid, grid, okay, and pass it as true. Okay, I think till now it's fine. Let's try to plot this. Let's see the output of this code. Yeah, fine. So we are getting a graph with some numbers, and x-axis has been placed as medium and y-axis as sales, and the title has been placed. So it's just a basic example, a basic syntax for you to understand how this Matplotlib, this library is going to perform. Okay, we can do a number of things here. We can in this plot parameter, right? So in the plot function there are a number of parameters, like you can also pass a color, I think. So color equal to green. Okay, fine. So now if I run this, see, the line becomes green. So there are n number of parameters here, n number of functions in this library. So we can go through all of them, but first we have to understand how these things works, and how we are going to create a graph or create a visualization using this Matplotlib. Okay, and I think next we can go for a pie chart. I think it will be very much interesting to do. So the next thing is a pie chart. So I'll just put let's see what this thing does. Yeah, and the data, I'm not going to use this data which is recommends, so I'm just going to give size which is equal to something like 30, 25, 20, and just put 40 or something like this. Okay, some type of sizes. Okay, and I'm just going to label them. Labels, which is going to be our labels. I'm just going to pass ABCDs. So I think it gave me a recommendation, right? Yes, right. So labels, fine. Then we can directly plot it again, plt.py, to show everything. So it works fine, but here also there are a number of parameters to look into. So the one which I most want to use, the most I like to use, which is autopact. Autopact, AUTOPCT, which is equal to, I have to provide quotes, percentage, and I have to specify the floater, how I have to represent the float. Well, I'll show you in the output, you can understand it easily. First I'll just type this and percentage. So now let's run this code. Now see, yes, a pie chart has been created, but now if you see this 21.7, okay, this thing is what I'm saying. So if I didn't specify this autopact, or if I didn't specify anything here, then now see the output. Now see, it's not giving the labels, and it's not giving the percentages of the each pie. So we can use this autopact to specify that value and the percentage with the accuracy, how much accuracy I want. So I can give with 4 decimal values also. Sorry. I think something went wrong. Wait. F. Okay. So this is how we create a pie. And also see the first label A, I think is starting in a weird location. I want to start it in the beginning or in the position of B, or it should be in a clockwise manner. Now we can also move this pie. So for that we can use start angle. I think yes, start angle. Start angle. Just try. We'll just give 140. Let's see what it does. Now, yeah. See, all the positions have been changed. 140 is starting here. So just give 120. So it's moving a little bit up. I'll just give 100 then. Now I think it's fine. So again, it's also going counterclockwise. Okay. So we'll see about the other parameters in a deeper video. But now I want to give you the next and very much more used thing in Matplotlib, that is subplots. Okay, so sub subplot. Okay, so if you want to compare two graphs, if you want to put two graphs side by side, you have to see the valuations and compare them. Now we have to go for a subplot. So let's create a subplot. So x is equal to, I just give a, yes, I think it's fine, and we create two y-axis, y1 equal to a list. I'm just going to use a list comprehension here. I'm not going to type everything. Yeah, this gives me a recommendation, right? So I don't need y3. I'm just use a list comprehension here. Here what I did is I created I into 2 for all the I values and I into 3 for I don't want this thing. We can go for power. It will be very much realistic. Okay, so I power 2 and I into 2. So I value is nothing but our x value. So 1 into 2, 2 into 2, that will be there, and 1 power, 2 power, and 3 power 2 will be there. So this will be our data which I'm going to go work with. And the next thing, and now I'm going to create the plots. So to create a plot, so subplot, we will use plt dot subplot, and I will explain you this parameters in detail. First I will just type it. Okay, when we run this, I think you will easily understand this. So So plt dot plot x comma y1 and x comma y2 is this. I think everyone knows this. Now I just want to present some labels because we should know which one is which. So yes, labels equal to, I want this as I think this is the double value, right? Or multiplication by 2, so we'll just put double. I think this is fine now. And this guy, I will just copy this. And here it's not a double, it's a x power, right? So you can put it like this, x power 2. So x power 2 values, or we can just put a square. I think it will be fine. Square, and if you want to put a color also, you can put a color. So this will be our two plots. Now let's try to plot it out. Plt dot show. What happened? It's throwing an error. It's not in a correct positions, and something is going wrong, right? Labels argument lab l. So we don't have to put s here. And is there any other problem now? Yes, two graphs have been presented. Okay, one is just a direct gradual, and this is just having a small curve. And names, label names, something is missing. So okay, so this is the thing which we are confusing now, right? This plot and this subplot. What does this mean? So this means first thing is the first parameter is rows, columns, and the grid position. Okay, I'll give you a clear example now. Wait. Yes. So this is rows. That means in documentation it will be represented as n rows and n columns, and comma index position. So which should be in the first place and which should be in the second place? That is what is happening here. So rows and columns is the same. I want one row, two columns. So this is the row, and we are creating two columns. In these two columns we are going to place each graphs. So 1 and 2, I think is everyone can understand. This last value, index value, which is going to be the placement of your graph in that grid. So I'm going to use 2, which is for my second subplot, and 1 for my first subplot. So if you change this value, right, now let's try to run this again. Now see, the graphs are being interchanged. So this is just a positioning. If you use 2 comma 2, if you put 2 here and 2 here, it creates a matrix format like 4 spaces. That means here one graph, here one graph, here one graph, and here 4 places will be created. And if you have 4 subplots, it will be easily placed. But in these positions we have only 2 graphs. So see, it has it's made it smaller, and the other 2 graphs I'm not mentioning anything. We can do also one thing. I can now copy this, paste it here, and we will put this as a red graph. Okay, red graph, and instead of in 2 and 1 position, it will be in the third position. Okay, now see, it goes in the third position. So 2 by 2 na 2 comma 2, if you mention the subplot as 2 by 2 comma 2 na, that will create 4 places like a matrix. 2 by 2 matrix na 4 places, 3 by 3 matrix na, you can understand, right? So like this we will create subplots. We can compare them very much easily, and giving colors and naming them correctly, and creating a entire or to say a dashboard will be very much easier in this mention, in this type. So I think everyone can understand this. So I just given a just a basic uh, code for our Matplotlib. So there are a number of topics and a number of functions to be explored in Matplotlib. With this, I conclude this video. Thanks.